These old tires look like waste at first glance, but this is exactly where their second life begins. This tire has already lived one long life on the road. Now watch closely as it is reborn from scratch. What looks like destruction is actually controlled precision. Every spark here is part of transformation. From scrap piles to engineered strength, this is how old tires quietly become brand new again. As the sun rises, a massive scrapyard slowly comes to life, covered in soft golden light. Morning mist lifts gently, revealing endless rows of old tires waiting for a new beginning. A drone glides smoothly between towering stacks of discarded tires, showing their scale and history. Birds pass briefly through the frame, adding life to an otherwise silent industrial landscape. At ground level, cracked and weathered tires hold small pools of rainwater. Reflections shimmer quietly, symbolizing years of use and abandonment. The camera pans slowly across faded brands and worn treads. Dust floats in sunlight, capturing the calm before machines take control. A deep mechanical roar breaks the silence as heavy machinery ignites. The recycling process powers up, ready to transform waste into value. A hydraulic arm extends toward a towering pile of tires. Metal joints move smoothly as morning light reflects off worn yellow paint. The excavator claw closes tightly around multiple tires. Rubber compresses under force, showing strength that still remains. Lifted high into the air, the tires dangle and sway gently. Their weight is felt clearly, suspended between past use and future purpose. The tires crash into a steel hopper below. Dust and debris explode upward, marking the start of transformation. As the dust settles, calm returns briefly to the scene. This moment bridges impact and controlled motion. The conveyor belt activates slowly and steadily. Tires begin their journey deeper into the recycling system. From the side, worn tires roll unevenly along the belt. Their imperfect shapes tell stories of long roads traveled. Workers step into frame wearing helmets and bright safety vests. Human presence brings scale, care, and judgment into the process. Gloved hands pull wooden planks from between moving tires. Grime and texture highlight the reality of industrial work. Plastic debris is removed and tossed aside. Clean separation ensures only rubber continues forward. Inside the factory, multiple conveyor belts intersect seamlessly. The entire system moves like a carefully choreographed machine. A rotating tire approaches the sidewall cutting station. Red safety lights glow softly, building tension. The circular saw spins up rapidly. Its blurred blade hints at precision and power. The blade slices cleanly through the tire's sidewall. Rubber curls away smoothly with controlled force. The cut sidewall drops onto a scrap pile below. This separation marks another step forward. The tire rotates toward the bead removal unit. Steel reinforcement becomes exposed steel wire vibrates and glistens in the light. Raw material stands revealed against black rubber. The remaining tire carcass drops onto the next conveyor. Motion continues without interruption. Massive shredder teeth rotate slowly in close-up. Oil-coated steel gleams, waiting for engagement. Rubber feeds into the dark mouth of the shredder. The atmosphere turns intense and industrial. The teeth bite aggressively into rubber. Chunks tear away under controlled destruction. Hidden metal wires strike steel, sending sparks flying. Brief flashes of orange light punctuate the darkness. Shredded rubber pieces eject outward violently. Energy fills the steel wires fall into the collection bin below, clattering together slowly. Each piece settles into a growing pile, ready for its own journey of reuse. A massive hydraulic press descends toward the loose steel wires. Pressure builds gradually, controlled and deliberate. The metal compresses tightly under immense force. Loose strands transform into a dense, solid steel cube. The granulator chamber opens briefly, revealing spinning blades inside. Speed and precision combine in a glimpse of controlled power. Rubber chunks drop into the granulator. Motion blur and sharp edges balance energy with clarity. Smaller rubber granules emerge from the machine. Uniform size signals successful transformation. Granules flow onto a vibrating mesh table. A rhythmic bouncing pattern begins instantly. Fine dust falls cleanly through the metal mesh. Unwanted particles are removed efficiently. A strong air jet blasts across the moving granules. Lightweight fibers lift gracefully into the air. White fibers float briefly before being collected. Cleanliness improves with every step. Pure black rubber granules continue forward smoothly. The flow remains uninterrupted and controlled. Granules enter the cryogenic tunnel entrance. Cold vapor spills outward dramatically. Inside the tunnel, extreme cold fills the space. Frost swirls around the moving conveyor belt. Crystalline ice patterns appear in sharp detail. Liquid nitrogen sprays directly onto the rubber. Explosive clouds of steam rise instantly. The frozen rubber becomes brittle under the intense cold. Microscopic cracks begin forming across its surface. A hammer mill strikes the frozen rubber forcefully. The material shatters into fine particles mid-air. In slow motion, black fragments explode outward. Energy fills the frame dramatically. The powder settles into a controlled stream. Chaos resolves back into order. Stainless steel pipes surrounding the system are coated in thick ice. The cold environment dominates the frame. A sifting machine rotates gently and continuously. Ultra-fine powder separates with precision. Black rubber powder flows evenly through the circular sieve. The motion appears smooth and hypnotic. A robotic lab arm approaches the sample port. Sterile precision defines every movement. The robotic scoop lifts a measured amount of powder. Material is placed carefully into a silver container. The transparent tube system activates instantly. Powder rushes through at high speed. Inside the tubes, particles collide with the walls. Glowing highlights enhance the sense of motion. The blue additive feeder begins rotating steadily. Vibrant color signals the next stage. Blue powder drops into the black rubber stream. The contrast is visually striking. Liquid oil injects through clear hoses smoothly. Viscous flow bends light realistically. The mixing chamber fills with combined materials. Density increases visibly with each rotation. From above, massive sigma blades fold the compound repeatedly. Thick material moves slowly but powerfully. The rubber mass changes color and texture gradually. Transformation becomes clearly visible. As temperature rises, steam begins to form. Heat buildup is unmistakable. The mixer lid opens suddenly. A thick cloud of steam bursts outward dramatically. Hot rubber compound drops heavily onto the conveyor belt. The material stretches under gravity. The surface of the rubber glistens with heat. A subtle shimmer reflects its temperature. The extruder pushes the rubber forward steadily. Pressure and force are implied through motion. Smooth rubber strands emerge in a continuous flow. Uniformity remains consistent. Underwater cutters slice the strands cleanly into pellets. Bubbles explode outward with each cut. Fresh pellets sink briefly, then begin to float. Water dynamics remain realistic. Pellets bounce energetically onto the dryer shaker. Droplets fly off in every direction. Dry pellets form a neat, controlled stream. Moisture has been fully removed. A green laser scans the moving pellets methodically. Quality control is verified in real time. The robotic bag filling station engages smoothly. A large white bag opens into position. Pellets pour continuously into the bag. The container slowly expands under growing weight. The bag sealing mechanism closes cleanly. Final containment is completed securely. A dense rubber bale moves toward the cutting station. Its mass dominates the frame. A hydraulic guillotine slices through the bale perfectly. A clean cross-section is revealed. Freshly cut rubber edges release visible steam. Heat remains trapped inside. An internal mixer releases another hot rubber batch. Thick smoke rises dramatically. Rubber feeds into the rolling mill. Heavy material enters steel rollers. Gradually, the rubber flattens into a glossy sheet. Thickness becomes uniform and smooth. Yellow sulfur powder is tossed onto the sheet. Swirling patterns form instantly. Rolling pressure blends sulfur into the rubber. The yellow color fades back into black. Long rubber strips hang from festoon rocks. Gentle up and down motion allows cooling. The strips sway slightly with factory airflow. Cooling happens evenly and naturally. A tread-forming machine extrudes patterned rubber. Grooves appear sharp, deep, and precise. The bead winding machine spins steel wire into a flawless circle. Fresh material continues the cycle of transformation. The fabric liner unrolls smoothly from a new angle, its tension perfectly controlled. Every movement ensures accuracy before the tire takes shape. Rubberized fabric layers tightly around the rotating drum. No air gaps remain, creating a flawless inner foundation. A robotic arm glides across the surface with a roller. This final touch smooths the liner to exact precision. Steel bead rings are placed carefully along the carcass edges. Perfect alignment is critical at this stage. Sidewall rubber strips feed in from above in synchronized motion. Each strip settles exactly where it belongs. Rollers press the sidewalls firmly into place. The tire structure visibly strengthens with each pass. A transfer ring lifts the tread band slowly into position. Suspense builds as alignment approaches. The tread lowers gently onto the carcass. It centers perfectly, completing the assembly. The completed green tire begins rotating slowly. Its smooth, uncured surface glows under factory lights. A robotic gripper secures the green tire carefully. It prepares the tire for the curing process ahead. The interior of the curing mold is revealed briefly. Textured metal walls hint at final shaping. The green tire is positioned precisely inside the mold. No misalignment is visible before closure. An inflatable bladder expands steadily within the tire. Rubber presses outward uniformly against the mold. Steam pressure rises inside the sealed chamber. Subtle vibrations ripple through the metal shell. The mold locking mechanism engages firmly. A deep mechanical sound signals finality. Steam escapes through small vents along the mold. The curing process is now fully underway. The mold begins to open slowly. Tension builds toward the final reveal. A finished tire emerges, steam rolling off its surface. Reborn from the old, the transformation is complete. Thank you for watching this journey from worn-out tires to new strength. Your time and attention complete the story of transformation.